Hello, I'm Otto, and welcome to episode 39 of my Factorio Space Age Guide. So in the last episode, we continued to set up, kind of a bot starter. We're not going to be dealing with bots largely when we get to the actual Gleba builds, but we also set up these collection centers that are completely self-sufficient. Actually, we don't need any of the solar panels anymore. We can remove those and get our landfill back. And speaking of landfill, before we kind of take off and just let those guys kind of do their thing for a bit, I am going to drop some miners on the stone over here. Oh, actually, you know what? Because we're going to be kind of out and about and doing other things, I'm going to take all of the biter eggs and we're just going to pitch them. Yep, we're just going to burn them right off. That way we don't have to deal with it. These guys are consuming passive power. I do not want to do that. And okay, that'll give us kind of the power we need to set this up. So I want to set up some miners and have them just start creating some landfill for us. Am I going to be able to squeeze this in? No, I need to cut all of this. Move it over by one. There. So then I have some assemblers. And this will all be landfill. Aw, missed one. Wait a minute. How far up should this be? Can I get everything in one? I think that's going to cover it. Okay, and then I'm going to collect stuff in between. That is so close. Whatever, that'll be fine. Okay, so I'm going to give each of these a speed module, and I'm going to give them the rest productivity. I hope we have the power to support this. We do. Okay, and that should be good. And then I think I'm going to do the same thing here. Nope, not cut. Abort. So how do I want to set this up? Ah, that's going to be a problem. Still going to be a problem. Okay, that's good enough for me. Okay, so everyone's good to go. So now we are collecting landfill. Yay, more permanent solution. Okay. I said we were going to make a Foundry Upcycler, and the main reason why is because I really want to be upcycling big mining drills. So, we're going to do this in the world. We are not going to use the editor. I'm going to create one back here. I suppose I could probably use one of the other ones. Why do I not have that on my bars? I suppose I could use one of the other ones as kind of a reference. Why won't you let me stamp this down? Okay, perfect. So then I can change all of these. I can change that to wood. Coal, kind of do the standard. Across the top. And then I can just copy and paste a lot of that in. Okay, so we have at least a general idea. We need recyclers. All right, let's see how the foundry is going to line up, because I think it's a little bit bigger than those, so yeah. So if you recall, we need somewhere for something to come out. I don't know, did we? Okay, so we do have some things. Now we're going to use the big mining drill as our base. One will have, I mean, like I said, there's only 2 blueprints that we're going to end up needing, or 2 that we're going to be using. One is the big mining drill, which needs molten iron. And the other is the foundry, which needs lubricant. So we only have to deal with one liquid, and that liquid is going to be here. Similar to the way we've done it with the other ones. Well, this one we had to the right, but we only have to deal with one liquid, so that's kind of a good thing there. All right, so this is going to be filtering greater than or equal to uncommon. I guess they both have 5 ingredients, so it really doesn't matter which one we use. And I'm just going to copy all of this, because we know that this is going to be right up against this one, similar to how these are. And then I need 2 spaces, 2 spaces, 2 spaces. This is uncommon quality. Rare quality. Epic quality, and legendary. It's going to be the same. This one's going to be different, different, and different, and this one doesn't really matter. Alright, greater than, equal to or greater than epic. This one is equal or greater than epic, and this one is equal to or greater than rare. Okay, moving along nicely. This had to be 1 out. And we are going to put a requester chest at the bottom of each. I think it might be easier. Why did you not save? What? It didn't save any of those parameters? Why not? That's a bummer. Okay, well, not a big deal. We can just, I'm going to do the quantities first. So 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, and last is 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Now I can copy all of those. Unfortunately, we're going to have product arrive, and I'm just going to temporarily trash unrequested. I absolutely love these upcycler blueprints. Like, it is a lot better than I expected, and I do have a little tweak that I'm going to do with these. Whatever. Okay, I do not want trash unrequested. I do want to have request from buffer chest though. And I'm going to scale this down. I don't think these need many. It's a decent amount of ingredients, so we'll go ahead and leave this. We'll kind of leave this doubled up. I mean, and we could always add more like that if we like really wanted to. I mean, it's not really that big of a concern to me. I think 2 is plenty. Okay, so we would need to figure out power. That's always the fun part, like trying to figure out how you're gonna get power into these things is... I'm just kidding, by the way. It's often not the fun part. The fun part is the actual seeing it all come together, I guess. I feel like I want these here instead. Yeah, I do. If only we had the green quality version. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna swap these two. It's still not gonna give us all the coverage we need, but it'll give us something. You know what? I'm just gonna swap these two. Yeah, I like that way better. Less power poles on top. We don't have any recyclers here. That's fine. These need to be dropped anyways. And it'll be set up like that. Okay, now for the fun part. So we are going to allow for zero to... What have we been doing? 20 stacks? I don't think I want to go that high. Let's do like 5 stacks, which would be 100. So 100 is equal to 5 stacks. We'll just try to keep that in mind. We will do the same thing for the other qualities. So what this is doing is this is allowing us to be able to leave some in here if we just absolutely want to have it pile up. Since the So we're going to have the regular version coming out the bottom. And this is going to be equal to uncommon. Same here. Oh, that one's just going to miss. Oh, that one's just going to miss here too. No! It's so close. I just need to have these in quality. All right, well, the first one is going to collect most of the stuff anyways. This one is just a backup and can help with the problems. Okay, what was I saying? Yeah, so because of the way this is set up, and this one needs power, these guys are going to be spitting out anything that's quality or better. And these are going to spit out the ones that we just don't want. Rare quality is going to come, this is going to be priority uncommon, priority common, priority rare, and priority epic. Hey, slowly but surely we are getting there. The epic one, 100, and this one doesn't need to store it at all. But it is going to have an underground belt come out here. This is going to blacklist the legendary version because we do not want that coming into this. We want that coming into here. And that will be its export there. Its output. Okay. So then each of these will have filters for uncommon, Foundry, rare Foundry, and epic Foundry. So this is where we're kind of this is where we're getting into where I'm gonna have a very, very, very slight subtle change. And this is purely based on just simply watching the ones we have on Fulgora. And I don't think that I will have any examples that are presently here. Maybe this. So I have 32 of these, I have 40 of these, and I have 39 of these. So this is set to allow up to 50. So what happens, or sorry, this enables if the contents here are greater than 50. So once this reaches 51, this guy activates for one swing, and then deactivates because this is no longer above 50. This one, while on a separate network, kind of, only allows, like, it goes above 50 and it does the same thing, but it doesn't do it if this one goes over 50 because these are all attached to the green network, and this one is attached to the red, and all of these are also attached to the red. So this one can open up if any of these are above 50. This one only opens up if any of these are above 50. But I want to change that. I want to have this be more like 55 because I want to have this one dump out if I have enough of this one. I don't want to have 50 of this one and 50 of this one. I want only 50 or whatever stack size is, or whatever our quantities are, of just one. So going back to Volcanus, and we can use our little reference down here, we want to have, and remember, we do not want to insert these into an underground, although here it wouldn't have mattered. Here it would have mattered. And these guys I want going into the chest. So we need to leave room on the back side. This can go, let's say, there. Yeah, we have a lot more room with the Foundry, that's for sure. We're still gonna need, Yeah, we're still going to need power poles to come down here. Whatever, it is what it is. Okay, so this guy's spitting out epic. This one will go blue. This one will go blue here. Purple, blue, and green. I don't think we have any buffer chests here, but these are all going to be buffer chests. This one is not spitting out anything because there's no situation where a normal foundry will make it into this list or into this line. So we don't need that at all. It is not requesting in. These are requesting in. So that's going to request in a stack of that. Stack of this, and this is so that if we upgrade any of them, these will be the ones that get kind of brought back after they've been replaced and will now be dumped into this upcycler system. But at the same time, this also allows us to give the bots access. So man, this transition between qualities is quite a pain in the butt sometimes. Okay, so this guy is connecting to this chest. This chest is connecting to nowhere. You know what? We need power poles here anyways, so we can chain it onto this guy, I hope. Nailed it. Okay, so we're going to enable this if the foundry... No, not the foundry. If anything is greater than 50. Nope, 20. We're doing a stack size of the current item. And then that one's good. So then we're going to connect this one to the green network, and the green network will connect all of these. And we're going to do like 1.1 as a multiplier. So anything that's above 22, that will be equal to 1.1. If anything is above 22, this one can enable. And then this guy gets just connected to the red network, this one to the red network, and this one doesn't matter. So I want to enable if anything is greater than 24, so slightly higher than the one before, but I also want to connect it to this network and say not just anything, because I want it to continue past 24 if we don't have Epic unlocked. So I want you to enable if we have a small amount, if the Epic amount is greater than a smaller number. I think I used a generic 10 before, but I kind of feel like that's maybe a little too high. And here's why. I'm going to set this to... What if we just left it at greater than 0? Because here's what would happen. This one is set to 20. This one is set to 22. This one is set to 24. If one shows up here, all of a sudden the floodgates open on this one because it is greater, the Epic is greater than 0. Both of these have to be... I guess, accepted. Both of these values have to be true. This is an and situation. This is anything above 24 and legendary foundry above 0. So the second one of these shows up, the floodgates open up for this guy, but he does not go below 24 because he is now the highest value. And once he goes below 24, this and is now incomplete, and he goes to 23 and this guy shuts off. So I'm actually fine with that, because that puts a huge like flood of, or potentially a huge flood of blue into the recyclers, which are getting that. And once that floods, it will then ramp this up. And then we can have this one be just kind of one step above this guy. And say if anything is above 26 or 1.3, and if legendary is greater than 0, legendary Foundry is greater than 0. So this is the same situation. So it's a tiered system where no matter what, the previous ones will not pile up unless the next thing is true. And then once this guy starts unloading, I kind of wanted to be careful with this one though. But I kind of think that once we unlock legendary, we will have probably maybe enough epics to kind of deal with this stuff. Maybe we wait until I could, well, I mean, I could set this one higher too. Instead of 26, I could always say 3 stacks. So this will always be 3 stacks, no matter what. Until legendary gets to 30. Okay, that's fine with me. If anything is above 3 stacks, I could even go higher with it. I could say if anything is above 5 stacks. So we would always have 5 stacks of this until we got 5 stacks of this. But you know what? I'm just going to leave it like this. This is perfectly fine in my book. And I was also limiting these as per the contents. So I was telling these guys, enable if, what are we on? Green quality is less than, I think I did 20 stacks. And to be honest, with the green quality, it's not even that big of a deal. I shouldn't do 20, I should do 400 because that's what the stack size is. So basically that means that these can't go over 400 anyways. But then I still have to have a way for this to not clog. So I'm still toying with the idea of doing something different. It's going to be less than 400 and so that's connected here and that's connected here. Okay. So another thing that we had was I wanted to connect this to here and say that if the legendary version enable if the legendary version is less than 800. So this is quite a bit higher. That's like a whole inventory worth. So this shuts off. Wait, was it 800 because of... What was my reasoning for that? Oh, I have a reference here. What am I talking about? Less than 20, but that was 20 stacks. So this would be 400. And I wonder if I can still... Maybe I can help prevent this from backing up by saying enable if... So the only time it's really going to try to back up is with the blue. Enable if blue is less than 400. So then that would prevent this from going through here. So how would this kickstart itself? Once we unlock Epic, I don't think that it's even possible. Alright, so this is pointless. be able to kickstart it, something would have to be removed from this one. If this one got stuck at 400 and then ingredients kind of started backing up. I wish there was a way to say, okay, we have the ability to make this, now the rest of it can open up. But you know what? It is what it is. So that's going to be our blueprint. I am going to Alt B and make a blueprint out of this. And then we are going to parameterize this and then head back to Gleba. Okay, so that's an upcycler. I have nothing of quality in here. Definitely do the modules. All the modules are good. We can always upgrade the modules with an upgrade planner, or upgrade the blueprint with a upgrade planner module. Module upgrade planner. Wow. Ingredient, 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 and ingredient. Oh, I should have. All right, here's what we're doing. Here's what we're gonna do. Oh my gosh, I have so much. I did the same thing here. I'm gonna move this upcycler out of the way. I'm gonna make a copy of this. This is going to be our Foundry Upcycler. Select new blueprint. Now all the values are in there. Sweet. And if you've never seen the process of us doing the values, let me just skim through this real quick. And unfortunately, I did change some of the values just now, so I'm gonna have to go back through and look at this. And I can't do 2-2. Okay. What do I mean by that? So I have a situation where numbers are overlapping. So right here, I have this guy set to 22, but the problem is that inside of these, I also have a 22. So I think to solve that, I'm going to take one away from each of these. And I'm going to have to do that for all of these. Okay, so now we can take this and create new blueprint. Now all of, let's see, 1-1s, all these are going to have to come down and make sure that they are in between or under, sorry, the parameter that they belong to. This is a main ingredient. These are all, sorry, the main thing. These are all ingredients of 0. The 400 is the times 20. The 22 is going to be not an ingredient. But that's an so that's an indicator of what we actually need for these guys. I'm going to parameterize these because this is a new number. It did not like that we changed it. So I'm going to paste that in and change this to ingredient 1. 2. Ingredient 3. Ingredient 4. And ingredient 5. Okay. So then this one is P0 underscore S times 1.1, the 24. I'll bring the 60 up too. Oh, I mean, I guess, and the 100. The 0 doesn't matter. Okay, so parameter, parameter, parameter. Formula, formula, formula. I'm going to copy this, paste, paste, paste. So this 400 is a stack times 20. This was not a stack times 20, sorry. This was just a stack. 20 was one stack. In the circuit condition, yes. 4 requesters for the 20. Yep, okay. This one was... Wait, did I not take that away? Why does it say 2? And 2 circuit... Okay, it just doesn't tell me which of the other circuit conditions there are. It just says that they're involving belts. Whatevs. I got the 1 right there on the corner. Okay, so this was 2.2. 60 was times... stack size times 3. This was a stack size times 5. And I think we're good. Okay, let's hit the confirm because, oh my goodness, if you generally, like, I'm not dealing with that. Like, that just, ugh. All right, so unfortunately this is not going to work at the moment, but we can at least stamp it down and see if it should work. Yes, we need to get some recyclers in here. So that means that Volcanus supplies here needs to bring in recyclers. And I think at this point we probably don't have regular recyclers. But you know what? Let's just... let's just say to bring them all in. If I request them all, then eventually I will get one and we're good to go. Okay, what? Really? Where did you come from? I thought I got rid of all the eggs. So this is another thing. We do not have pollution, but we have this other thing called spores. So once these spores reach these guys down here, they will attack. And we are going to have to do something about them probably sooner rather than later. And we will probably do that in the next episode. Let's see real quick how these things are doing over here. I think we can probably... I'm surprised he doesn't have more, to be honest. But we're going to double up. This was not as good as I was expecting, but it is what it is. Okay, so let's go double up on the other one. Uh-oh. Do you have any of these? No. You're at novice. Oh, look at how much extra room we have. Oh, I'm so glad I upgraded those. Alright, how about you just go to Fulgora? Because you need to grab some inserters. Only 46 available. Okay, so, yeah, I guess I'm going to have to wait for those. Okay, so that is going to be it for me for this episode. I know, I'm glad we got the recycler, or not the recycler, I'm glad we got the upcycler for the foundry out of the way. We're going to have to make one for the biochambers as well. That one might be a little bit more difficult because we're going to have to deal with spoilage. I mean, I didn't even get this blueprint right, to be honest. I should have changed that to be no matter what, you request in Hey, I guess we're fixing it right now. I don't know, let's say 20. This is use fill, well, no, that doesn't need. How would we manage this in the case of pentapod eggs? We would probably just do it just for pentapod eggs. And not parameterize that. That way, if it was anybody else, it would not be a big deal, and then we could just stay... well, I mean, who am I kidding? I don't plan on placing any more of those manually. Like, this is the only one that we're going to be using for this kind of thing. Because I think that we're just going to do the same thing with science. I'm just going to have, like, one of these guys, one building maybe producing science, and just see what we can get. Alright. Nope, we're going to go ahead and redo this parameter. Because it is all already set up. Yay, it worked. Okay. Alright, that is going to be it for me for this episode. I will see you in the next episode, and thanks for watching.